Alright, we are live recording. Hello YouTube. This is gonna be me just commentating over a game of Tatars vs Bulgarians on this map called Ravines. Before this game I had only actually played this map once, and you can see in the actual chat that's popping up here, I was pretty surprised. This is a ranked game. I was about 1280 elo at this point, so coming up to 1300 real close, and it was such an exciting game. I just thought, gotta commentate it. Gosh, it's so hot here, but without further ado, let me actually get into the gameplay. It starts off pretty slow, just figuring out the map. I don't have any overlays, so sorry about that. You're gonna have to just bear with my lovely voice and the in-game overlay anyway. So Tatars get a bonus for herdables, which is pretty big. That's one of the things I've been looking out for in all of my more recent games. The Civ I'm against and the Civ I'm on. Do either of us have an eco bonus? Because eco bonuses means if both of you play it perfectly, your build orders, you're going to hit the next age before them unless they harass you, which is pretty big. And if you look at that, I didn't specify which goose for the villagers to kill, and they went and killed 3, so pretty funny start. There's going to be a lot of decay on that. Right, let me get scoreboards up. Score's dead even right now. If I turn off the fog of war, let me just get familiar with this UI. Okay, so he's pretty similar, nothing really to comment on here. So I'll just talk about what I wanted to talk about. Right now, Scout's just scouting, you know, the usual. And the main thing I wanted to comment on is how many of these ibex are around the base, which is pretty huge. Like, that's a potential for a lot of food. And you're going to see my actions in the next few moments really influences how I play the rest of this game. So let me fast forward a bit to get onto what I'm saying. Focus on my scout here. So I find him, I engage in combat, I hit first, so I should win unless he gets high ground or something. So the chase is on here, chase him real hard. Everything else is pretty standard in the base. And at this point I didn't really have a plan, I was just like, yeah, I want to chase a scout, why not? But what happens here develops into my further thoughts. Okay, so he gets the high ground, hits me once, but I return it, and Tatar high ground bonus is nuts. Like, that chunked him. So he's really low at this point. And I'm thinking, I can defo take this kill. Could have blocked him there, but the mechanics weren't on. Anyway, here's all my goose, and I haven't really moved them around, and he's got one. He gets another, so he takes out 2 geese, which kind of sucks, because the Tatar 50% bonus, I'm kind of missing out on free food, essentially. But at this point, I just realized, hey, he's got no scout. Look how many ibex are around the base. I can push all these ibex, get all that food. And if you look at his base quickly, he has very little potential to do that. Well, actually, a lot of them are around the mill, so he does. Wait, that's a really good spawn. I was not that lucky. I assumed in my game that because his scout was gone, he wouldn't be able to have access to all these ibex, but his one spawned a lot better. Like, he can pick up 5 of them, so it's actually not as significant as I assumed. Well, anyway, that was my assumption that I would have the food lead, so I decided I was going to get a lot of vills going up rather than click early, so I think he clicks up to castle or feudal a lot sooner than me. We'll have to wait and see. Just looking on the top right here. It's just pushing loads of ibex. So basically what I knew was, I don't know too much about the Bulgarian Civ in this game, but I was expecting Konix and Krapos really. The typical standard way to play, so that was my expectation. It was my first time playing Tatars, and if I quickly go through their tech tree now, I like the idea of the fighting at elevations, because this was my second time on this map. I didn't really know what I was getting into, and the map said in the description that there was a lot of hills, so that's a plus. Keshiks, Petards, Flaming Camels, I mean. Haven't really dabbled in those 2 units a lot, but I really like this unique tech, Silk Armor, because I'm a big fan of light cav, and it buffs up the cav archers a lot as well. And like, free thumb ring and Parthian tactics is pretty huge. Not only because you save on the cost other civs would have to pay, the training time, like, you get that instantly, essentially. So yeah, we're both still in Dark Age, 25 vills, which is kind of unusual most of the time. Now I'm thinking, because one thing I've noticed is if you boom with no military, you really are playing a gambling game, because you never know if your opponent's going to come, and if they do, and you have 0 military, you're in trouble. So I'd rather not gamble and have some sort of security, so that's why the barracks is going up. Right, so he's researching feudal age. Let's see how many vills he's on. 22, so I have a big vill lead. That's a 4 vill lead, actually, which is kind of huge. But he's already going feudal and I'm still creating more vills, so... It's a bit of a greedy strat, but I believe, like... I doubted he could get archers up in time, and I assumed if it was militia coming at me, I'd be able to fight back, because I got my own on the way. So, fast forwarding a little more. I get howls, which kind of sucks. And then I see the militia show up. And what's crazy is, he's not feudal wage yet, so I was thinking, I'll get mine out and I'll fight him before he can get the upgrades. Because we'll be at the same strength, even though he's in feudal. That was the plan. So he hits feudal age, and he gets instant men at arms. I think that must be Bulgarian tech tree, right? Militia line upgrades free, yeah. I didn't see that. Like, that shocked me, because I looked away. I was focusing on my economy. I come back, planning to fight his militia with mine before he gets the upgrades. I see instant men at arms. So, did take me by surprise. So looking back on this moment, I'm kind of walling in my lines, but what I should have been doing is probably repairing my barracks. Because if that goes down, I can't get the archery ranges I want to get out until I have wood in. So yeah, they're forced out, the militia. Barracks goes down. Some quick walls. Keeps the wood line safe, but so far it's not looking good. Let's check the villages, compare the village counts. Maybe I can get those stats on screen at the bottom. It's pretty small, so I'll just read it out. Right now I'm on a 1 vill lead, so not bad, but considering he has the military advantage, he has the potential to make a comeback here. Fast forwarding a little more. He's just walking around, sees my gold, and then we do a little quick wall. And luckily enough, he's close enough to the TC to get hit. So that just makes him back off. Alright, so I have the double archery range coming up. I should have probably mentioned that earlier. And I know once the archers come out, I am safe. I'm going to do great against these men at arms. So I'm just stalling until then, essentially. 13 on wood, 8 on food. Wish I had an overlay, but no, we don't have one. So he's got a lot on food, 16 on food in fact. And he's walled in really nicely, which I find out a little later on. Whereas me, I'm only walling essential areas just to, 1, to reduce idle time, but 2, because I don't have the time to wall because he attacked quick. Fast one a little more, he's pushing in. I'm trying to repair it, but there's too many hitting the 1 square and it's just going down, so I think it's time to bail ship, and they run. Looking at the village count, I was on 33. Okay, the militia take the sacrifice, and the vill survive, which is a pretty clean play. Bit of idle time, but not the end of the world. And slowly the archers are coming together, so at this time I'm pretty relaxed. I know I don't need to be too worried. Scout sees where my woodlines move to, so he's probably going to go over there now. And I intercept quite nicely. Low ground, so it's not doing as much damage as I'd like. Yeah, the gap. Oh, I didn't know I did that. That kind of sucked. But they're all running. So I lose 1. That's 1 vill down. Considering I get all these men at arms here cleaned up, that's not too bad, not too costly. And then my first idea is, yo, I gotta push this straight away. I gotta take advantage. The score is in my favor. I've killed all his military. I've got a bunch of archers. What can he have? So I rush in as hard as I can. At this point, obviously, I can't see the walls. You can see the fog of war. So they gather up. They go in. It's all walled, which kind of sucks. Can't really do much else on that. So, oh, he's actually researching Castle Age, which is a big deal. He's researching, and I'm nowhere really near that point yet. Equal vills as well. Very interesting. So at this point, although I have the score lead, I'd say the ball's in his court, especially since he has the skirms out, which just make me instantly decide to back away. Alright, let me speed that up. Speed it right till he gets into castle, because I assume there's nothing else going on. On the forward gold. And he goes insta siege workshop, which is pretty big. I didn't recognize that at the time. And yeah, my thought process at this point was skirms can't do too much damage to my eco, so I should probably try and attack through another angle, I believe. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Let me go up this side, but obviously, turning on Fog of War, I actually can't. But I know it's walled, I guess, but I still go anyway. Okay. So we're up to Castle Age ourselves, which is good. Score's still in my favor. But I had to abandon this region because he came with his skirms. Can't see them now. So a healthy batch of 20 crossbows. But he does have a lot of skirms, so it's just about being in the areas he's not. But saying that, he actually comes with his skirms. I'm running at first, but then I realized, yo, these are elite skirms, but they don't have the range upgrades, so they're 5+1 and 5+2. This is winnable with good micro. So I start seriously pressuring these guys. Lose a few vills here to the mangonels, just a lot to focus on, which I couldn't do in this moment in time. And most importantly, I double stable at the back because I want to diversify my army. Thought the knights could come in pretty big. Just trying to close me off over here. He has the range upgrades now. Terrible split. Like, I don't normally split, that's the thing, but the time I do, this player predicts it and hits a bunch. So it's not going great here, honestly, not the best trade. But here come the knights. We clean up that mangonel. And then I see the Krapos, and that gets me a little shaken up because I have 3 on stone. My castle is not going to be up to contest it like another forward Krapos or something. We're speeding up this game. So compare the village count quick. So he's on an 8 vill lead. That's probably because he's been in castle longer. He's had more time to establish his TCs. I'm on 1 TC. He is on 1, 2 TCs. Alright, so yeah, I tried to push over here. Turns out there's a Krapos. My fears are being realized. I'm kind of boxed in at this point. Not a lot of angles I can really harass or attack from. So at this point, I'm just hoping I have a strong enough military to hold off any pushes he does. And secure forward regions like this. This is pretty neutral, I'd say, and the fact that I'm like mining it right now is pretty big. That's not really in my base per se. Alright, so speeding up. I want to farm this gold, but I'm scared that it's too close to this Krapos, so I go for a slightly safer option of the TC. Again, stone's really lacking. Oh. He comes in with some knights. I should view lock quickly. I want to know what I was looking at this point. Okay, so I was seeing what was going on. Okay. Probably just trying to find a favorable fight. Oh, I was also harassing. I got my cav archers into his base, which is really good. Accentuates my score lead a little. And that trade in the top went pretty bad. I lost about 4 knights. I got the mangonel, but the 4 knight loss is pretty tragic. Alright, so speeding up. Maintaining view lock. He gets in my base, kills a few vills. And then I go for the castle. So let me unview lock and actually watch this. This castle is going to be pretty powerful because it stops him running in through here, constantly harassing me. And it secures this gold. But can it be defended? That's the question. With the mangonel out, possibly not, because my army's all range. Okay, that can kill the knights easy enough, but the mangonel, how do I get to that? That's the question. With good micro, it would be takeable with archers, but I didn't trust myself in this point. And cav archers, no way. The wind up on their shots are way too long to be able to dodge. So at this point, I'm just trying to clear out these guys. And flanking with the crossbows, because I know with crossbows I can potentially take out a mangonel. Because the wind up on their shot isn't as long, you can actually dodge a few. And this castle's going down real quick, some 500 HP. Crossbows are a little tied up, but the mangonel's not looking. Good split, and it's down. Huge. But here come the skirms too, and I don't really have an answer for this, so I was pretty shook at this point. Pretty shook. Skirms are just cleaning up the vills, and it's gone from bad to worse, really. And my siege workshop's up, but I didn't go for mangonels, I went for scorpions. Must have been a misclick. Either way, this ain't looking good, so I think I just call it quits on the 50% castle, and it's gonna get deleted here. Yeah. Somehow I still have maintained score lead. I have a slight villager high. He has a lot of idols, I don't. His military's stronger, so score lead isn't entirely justified because his military gives him the potential to take that all away. As you can see by this castle, he is dropping. Not a great post, an actual castle. I can't prevent it, and it's gonna just secure so much for him. Scrolling over here, just some skirms. This castle's good though, because it has secured me, the stone which I took from here, and this gold here, so it's not all too bad. And we both hit in page, similar times, pretty big. But the thing is, if you go to my castles, I just have the one here. He has this one here, which is more forward. Can create Trebs to harass me. Trebs weren't even on my mind at this point, I'll be honest with you. Mainly I wanted to get all these stables out, because I thought Hussar would be the play, because the thing I love about Hussar, it actually trades pretty well against gold-based cavalry units. If you look at the Conic, yeah, it will lose, but cost effectively, it's so much easier to spam something that costs purely food than something that costs gold and food. So that was the thought process. TC goes down. Building a castle here. And he's forwarding a lot of buildings. I don't see them. But okay, here come the Trebs. There's the stables. This is defo the area where I think this game got real spicy. So it's my first time actually watching through this replay. So played this game last night, so it does kind of feel like a first time experience for me too. Just seeing it from both angles. Okay, so I was getting trapped, I don't realize at first, but obviously I'm going to want to stop that. All the stables are out, so yeah, here's the light cap. I don't think he expected this switch, so it gives me a slight advantage. For some reason I'm not committing yet. He's also slowly working his way down this side of the map. Score lead has shifted, not looking good for me. Got a bit of harassment going on here, but really nothing substantial. Alright, so castle's getting pummeled, slight repairs going on. Let's see when I decide to make the move. I should have moved already, that's a misplay. Double trap. See, this is where I'm trying to bait him away now, because like, I can't just ram my way through. So pull him away, get in, and fingers crossed, that's all I could do. We get it, huge. Just pulling his troops away was huge. And I know I can't win the fight, so I think I try and get out of there. With whatever I have left, yeah. We take those, that's pretty big. Score lead still in his hands. I'll fast forward a little until the next bit of action. So just developing my real mixed army. Let's quickly look at the economy side of things. So I have 16 on gold. He has 8, so my gold income's better. And I have 37 on food because I want to spam as many hussars as I can, so I'm leading in that regard. And he's getting a bunch of stables up in my face, which was a pretty brave move, but he is still slightly stronger, so that's understandable. This area, I have no eyes on, but the castle I assume will save me. Okay. So another Treb comes out. This time, can I reach it? That's the thing. Through this angle, hell no, not a chance. And despite having 40 on food, I'm not seeing a lot of cav from me, so how am I going to get to this Treb is the real question. Fast forwarding a little. Krapos comes up too. Ooh, it is not looking good. Hussars are fighting hard. but he just can't get through to the Trebs really. Those camels were definitely a misclick. I wouldn't build camels when skirms are around. You want some natural pierce armor. Yeah, so shockingly so, this castle, that's all the castle wrote. That's defo going down. So this is my last remaining castle. He's got the map control. I'd say military-wise, we're roughly even because my hussars can cost-effectively trade with the conics and they stomp on skirms. There's quite a few stables going on, but I'm also trying to mass up some heavy cav archers. I can't show it yet, but I think, yep, that's one important point. They're not heavy cav archers yet. They're just regulars. I've been an imp this long and I didn't bother because I didn't realize. Like the difference between cav archer and heavy cav is huge. So he's just trebbing some of my stables. It's not a big deal for me. As long as I'm not losing TCs or castles, I'm not too worried. I'm just trying to take favourable trades because I'm in for the long haul at this point. One thing to mention as well, like, there's so many pockets of resources around the edge of the map here. Many of which I haven't found yet, but as I slowly sneak around, I see them and it's like kind of huge because a lot of the points I'm running out of resources, like 240 stone. I don't know where the next stone's going to come from. But then it's on the edge of the map and I slowly find it as we go along. Another treb down. Huge. My hussars are kind of being wiped to this point, so I'm trying to slow down on combat to give me some time to mass them. I think some more stables come out. Is there a button? There should be a hotkey for that. Yeah, 13 stables currently. Some being built. You can tell I want to go hard on hussar. That's 50 on food. Let's compare that to him. 30, so fair difference. 107 vils, 118. Economy wise, I'm leading too. Skirms are a pain in the ass at this point, but he's overextending with them, so some get cleaned up. So let's fast forward onto the more relevant point of the game that's coming up soon. Yeah, right here. He starts trebbing my castle one. I didn't know we had one here, in fact. And this is the first treb I've made of the game, I believe. And you can't see what I'm researching in the castle, but when it comes out, let's have a quick look. It's got 16 range. His one's also 16. So, first thing I was looking for was Timurid siege here. You can see it's coming up, but I'm thinking at this point, no way this castle's going to stay up long enough for me to research that. One treb and a dream at this point. So here's me expecting that castle to go down before Timurid comes through. But we'll have to wait and see. Bit of harassment on my base, but I'm mostly fending it off, I'd say. Focus is over here right now. So castle goes down, but Timurid came through. And that's 18 range on a treb, which is huge. So at this point, we're going to call this one treb and a dream. So let's see where this goes, okay? Clean up the harassment on my base. Treb is just chilling for now. All alone. And my priority here is sniping gold units, so I'm probably going to go on that treb soon, I believe. Yep. Sniping gold units to get back in the game. 0 castles currently. Have we found a store of stone yet? No. 0 stone. Where's that? One treb and a dream. Can I hotkey him? Yeah, I can hotkey that treb. There's a bit of a lull in the combat. He's probably thinking which angle he's going to attack next. Trebbing some of my non-essential buildings. Hey, Mr. One Trebs rolling up. It's about to get serious. How many heavy cav archers are we stacked on? 30, so a good number. As long as I stay away from the skirms, they're going to be effective. Super effective. Alright, so Mr. One Treb with the enormous 18 range. It's crazy, ain't it? So we're going to try and claw our way back into this one. This Treb's still just hitting the non-essential buildings, really. I found some stone. Yeah, this must be the moment where I found some stone and I'm thinking, yo, if I can get another castle up and get some more of these insanely long-range Trebs, I can actually do something with this game. Score is super tight right now, but he has the pressure, undoubtedly. Priority is to defend that Treb. Defend it like no tomorrow. It's all we have. Yep, successful defense there. Just killing some raids. That's the amazing thing about Hussars. I see them as semi-trash units. They're so good, so reactive. I don't just put them on the same level as Halbs and Skirms. Like this mobility, this strength, this health is pretty nice. And also they're super effective against Skirms because Tatars get that +1 pierce armor. So we're just sniping buildings at this point. One Treb and a Dream still going on. Super good trades here, like this is insane. And any bit of siege he sends out, willy-nilly, is getting punished. Punished to maximum effect. Oh, this is wonderful. I remember this vividly. This moment here. 4 in a line. Where's this military? Where's this military, bro? We're coming in for that. Monks? We don't care about monks. We take all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. You can't stop my one Treb and a Dream, baby. He's trying to get it, but you can't. That's how we do. I take the score lead at this point. Still 0 castles, if I believe. If I'm correct. Yep. Still on 0 castles. He's forwarded a bunch of these archery ranges. But Mr. One Treb is coming through, and he's angry. Let's fast forward a bit. Bit of harassment. Oh, Krapos drop on me. Yeah, let me view lock. I want to see what I was looking at here. Yeah, I see the Krapos drop, and I'm like, yeah, one Treb's super important, but that's like half my eco in this sector of the map. I can't lose that. So yeah, I'm going in to defend that. Again, more Treb snipes coming in. More Treb snipes. He's playing sloppy. For almost 1300 player, very sloppy, and he's getting punished for it. One Treb still active, tearing down all of his. Krapos actually goes up. But I got that 860 stone at this point. Castle of my own in retaliation. Sweet. So he keeps rolling through siege that is relatively undefended. It is a very sloppy move. Oh, but most importantly, Mr. Treb goes down. The one Treb and a Dream is over, but we'll replace him by many. At least that's the plan. So I'd say at this point the game has definitely swung in my favor. There's been way too many siege units that he's sent in and have been sniped. Like, look at all these snipes right here. I think mainly it's the lack of answer for the Hussar. Cav Archer's nice, but mainly it's the Hussar he has no answer for. And it's crazy, this is my first game on Tatars, but it just probably shows how much experience I have on the game in general. Like, Cav Archer Hussar combo is insane. Insanely good. On such an open map too. Pay keen attention to the fact I haven't entered this base once this game essentially. And yet, the momentum is really swinging. This is 1 hour and 7 minutes in. Fast forwarding a bit. Treb cleanup's going on, cleaning up buildings. Yeah, I'd say essentially at this point I was confident. The score lead is breaking away, and I'm just sniping every bit of siege in sight, so I was super confident. Oh, and down here, obviously we missed it, but I found the extra store of stone and gold. You know, the stuff that's along all the edge of the map. Crazy. That's one complaint I had about this map. I was like, if this was Arabia, this comeback that you're seeing here probably wouldn't have been possible. No way, Jose. So anyway, we're set up around the map. We're getting resources from every angle. His raids are insignificant at this point, so I go away from defending and start thinking, yo, let's start attacking. And the difference between me and him is I'm defending against those snipes, not allowing it. My gold is going to be effective. I'm not going to let those gold units go down. So let's view lock and see what I was looking at. Darting around the screen. Is this the breaking point? Still being harassed in my base, so I think I don't plan to go too aggressive yet. I want to take out his castles first. Let me turn off view lock. Look around myself. I think he has some military around this point. Maybe I should take that out before I push. I'm assuming that was my trailer thought. But Tatar's definitely going to become one of my more familiar civs. Like, 16 plus 3 range. Oh my gosh. That Siege Engineers plus SiegeCraft, it's huge. Yeah, next priority is that castle, clearly. Do I split them? No, I don't even do that. Bunch of stables, but I think it's too late for his Tatars. A lot less on food for me, but at this point I can afford to int the Hussars because I can just keep them coming. Oh, I missed it. At this point, yep, I did get into the base, started harassing the back lines. And at this point, it's all relatively over. He calls the GG, and that's it. So what time did that game clock in at? 1 hour 14 on the 1.7 normal speed. It was a crazy comeback. Like, over here, I was pushed to 0 castles. I had 1 Treb, and that Treb paved the way entirely. Also assisted by a bunch of resources on the back of the maps. Although I think there are too many for a 1v1 map, there's too many resources on the sides. Managed to claw my way back in, superior team comp, sniping trash. Sniping his gold units with trash, I mean, and yeah, that was the comeback. It was a really nice game, so I just wanted to commentate through that. Hope maybe you've learnt something here by watching, or just enjoyed it. If you liked it, drop a like, and thanks. See you guys.